Batman the Cape Crusader, a modern Batman for a modern audience.
And no one to blame.
What are we... Why? Penguin goes around flirting with everyone despite the fact that she looks like the back end of a cow.
Sugar. You can frisk me any day of the week.
Nobody wants to. And we find out that Batman's parents died because, unfortunately, Alfred ate them.
The police ruled the first explosion a gas leak.
We start with this guy getting accused of selling secrets.
He's like, I'd never do that. We go back a long way.
Sure, Clarence.
Clarence? There are some names that criminals just can't get away with, like Rodney, Gerald. There are some names that just aren't intimidating enough to take on a life of crime.
But the boss would like to have a word with you anyway.
And that's when we get the reveal of the episode.
No!
It's Penguin. Oh, you've never seen him before.
You gotta believe me. I'd never...
Is that supposed to be intimidating? Actually, considering it's a woman being Penguin, she probably thinks that is intimidating.
Oh, look at me. I've got slightly larger.
It's the only time she's ever seen anything in her life extend a few inches. I don't know, I just can't get intimidated by somebody who has a knife so small it would be legal in the UK. And we confiscate spoons. But Mr. Thorne's gang are getting rid of all their stuff from this building because they've heard it's about to get hit. I'd also like to point out that these are men on screen because when the women are on screen, they also look the same. Everyone is built like a linebacker. The width of some of these women's shoulders, you're wondering how on earth they fit through a door, especially Penguin. No, they talk about the rumors that somewhere in the darkness, there's a bat.
Then he's got a screw loose, cause there ain't no friggin'...
Maybe there is. Either way, we get a Batman fight. Someone lobs a grenade at you, don't shoot it, just seems like good advice. Even if it wouldn't make the grenade explode, stop shooting them. There is nothing good can happen from that. This is like Broken Arrow. Can you please stop shooting the thermonuclear weapons?
Would you mind not shooting at the thermonuclear weapons?
Either way, Batman takes them out until he's fighting the gang while one of the other gang members starts pointing the weapon at them, and I'm like, just shoot him?
Like, oh no, I don't know whether I should fire or not.
Like, it's not even a tough shot, I've got to be honest. Look, I could hit that shot, and I've never held a weapon in my life. At least that's what you'd think. Yeah, he did shoot his own boss there. That was a mistake, wasn't it? If he wanted to get paid anyway. Mind you, his name is probably Gerald. That was the first sign they shouldn't have employed him in a criminal enterprise.
You stupid...
At least I can give him props for his death. If anything like that happens, go down insulting the guy who just did it to you. Probably would have used stronger language myself. At least insult his parentage, at the very minimum. That guy runs out of the building. I'm not really sure why Batman did it. He, like, let him escape just so he could run into his own fist. He could have punched him in the building, but instead, no, I'm gonna show off. He's quite lucky, actually. All I'm saying is if you hear a bomb going... maybe take cover. You think Batman would know that? What else did he think the screeching was? A Californian TikToker?
They just all sound like a high-pitched whining noise.
Somehow, though, Batman ends up under rubble, despite the fact he was nowhere near the building. How many buildings were demolished by that one cannon shell? Look how far away he was! He was in between two buildings. They got knocked down as well. All of this gets destroyed, including these two buildings next to him. From that explosion. By the fact that if you watch these two walls in that explosion, nothing happened to them. Watch, nothing. Nothing has happened. Still nothing. Even as the rubble is falling on him, that wall, perfectly fine. What happened to it while Batman was sleeping? That's what I want to know. I was hoping that as it panned up, the smoke would form the bat signal. Not because it would have been accurate, just because it would have been cool. That's right, it's time for Nantab, Redas Urk, Dep Ak, that famous superhero. Back now at Wayne Manor. This time there's not a party in it by a teenager, for once.
Here's to questionable choices. Take a walk.
3 explosions in 2 weeks.
Yeah, one of them was Alfred.
You used to look normal, then you just exploded.
The Batcave is supposed to be a secret base. How are you going to keep it secret when the entrance has to be that big? What's this giant crater in the ground lead to? You fit the moon through any entrance he's going through. He's actually as wide as Batman's cape. He's wider than Batman's cape.
The police ruled the first explosion a gas leak.
Yes, and when you've eaten that much food, you know all about gas. But people are blowing up Thorne's bases across the city, and the police are covering it up for them.
There's a crime boss we don't know about. One who's bold enough to take on Rupert Thorne.
Bold is one word for it, or stunning and brave. This is the Batman show that was written with one intention, to make Twitter go, "You go, Queen!"
We could be looking at
An all-out gang war on the streets of Gotham.
And good taste.
good lord.
That's what I was thinking. He's not had that reaction since Batman bought him a birthday cake the size of his own arse.
Good lord. And I know where to start looking for them.
Yeah, but like, how?
It's this just here. Yeah.
Do you know why? No. I'm just gonna look there, though. That green square, it looks iffy.
Police headquarters? You think someone inside the department is covering up these explosions?
It's not that he thinks that. It's more, why?
Does the corruption really surprise you?
How can it surprise me? You don't know it exists yet. Over to the courtroom now, and obviously this is going to be extremely accurate to the legal system.
The prosecution's case is absurd.
Oh, well, I suppose if you're going to say that, we might as well let him go. It's absurd. We don't need evidence. No evidence required for this, love.
My client isn't the mastermind behind a smuggling ring.
If you say so.
He's a desperate kid who took the wrong job from the wrong people.
Right. Not denying you took part in any of the crimes, are you, love? I mean, yes, he was a criminal and he was there and he did everything he's accused of, but he's not a mastermind. Oh, well, I guess we just let him go then.
Simple as that.
Court will recess until the jury reaches a verdict.
The only way you're going to make this courtroom drama interesting is if he hits her on the face with that gavel. But then a mystery person comes over to talk to her.
He's like, it was good, Miss Gordon, but you know you're gonna lose. That jury's eating out of my hand.
You know this kid's been set up to take the fall.
He should have squealed on his bosses.
This isn't how the legal system works. You weren't even denying he committed the crime. Your only defense was he wasn't in charge of it. But she accuses him of getting rid of her witnesses, and it's like, what? I've not read the Batman comics, but whether this is canon or not, it seems like a really bad path for this character to go down.
And I'm sure you do, Harvey.
Yes, Harvey.
It's Harvey, everyone. That's why I had to say his name.
Because this is how people talk in real life. Yes, I'm sure you don't know who you're talking about, do you? Steve. But just in case that hasn't hammered it home for you who this guy is.
Every conviction, another ad for your campaign. Harvey Dent.
I'm sure you don't know what you're talking about. Harvey, do you? Harvey Dent? Yes. Come into this courtroom, all two-faced. But as an aside, as I said, this guy, absolute complete prick. I'm not sure that's good for Two-Face before it comes to... Isn't the point of Two-Face that one half is evil and one half isn't? I thought that was the reason. Is that just from the movies? I don't know. It just seems like if he's a prick and then gets another face which is also a prick, it's not really two-faced, is it? That's just one face. The warring factions of good and evil in one guy, I think that's more interesting, whether it's canon or not, I don't know. But he's like, you can't blame me. I'm just putting criminals behind bars, and that gets me the mayoralship. Win-win. I have to agree. And he's like, look, I'll give your kid a break.
Heads, I'll ask for 20 years to life. Tails, he gets the chair.
Based. She's disgusted, you see, because it's like,
Oh no, we can't put the criminals in prison. They've got to be out on the street so they can rampage around and cause the lives of all the civilized people to be a living hell.
he's supposed to be the bad guy in this scenario. I just don't know how. It's like, there, they get what they deserve.
I'm not betting a man's life on a coin flip.
Why not? He gave you a 50-50 chance. Now he could just ask for the worst one. Better to take a 50-50 gamble than it is to certainly have him ask for it. You deranged bint. This is why the only thing you should have in that briefcase is a sandwich.
You're an ass, Dent.
Yeah, but at least he's actively engaging in the purpose of the legal system.
Oh look, it's got two heads.
I'm surprised you didn't yell after it.
You don't have to be two-faced.
But in the police station with somebody who looks particularly cat-like, she's not meant to. Catwoman is an entirely different person. They just keep reusing the same models for everybody, and so she ends up looking like Catwoman. Again, with shoulders Batman would be proud of. But Batman comes up with the high-tech stealth tactic of...
I'm gonna move around this pole.
Yes. No wonder nobody in the station spots him when he's got that kind of tactical awareness. He finds the files he needs, though, with the guy that signed them. It sounds like he's singing Kama Kama Chameleon, but I'm not sure. His toupee fell off, apparently.
It's funny, you see.
Crap. Batman, though, grabs him by the leg and holds him on railway tracks. I mean, obviously, this only works if you know that Batman won't actually kill you, because otherwise you're going to get hit by a train. I did like in the movies where he was just dropping them repeatedly from a non-lethal height. It was like, look, I know you'll get damaged, but it won't actually kill... No, this actually would just kill him. It's the worst interrogation tactic ever if the guy you're asking questions to can't answer questions anymore. But he just keeps asking,
Who's behind the explosions?
and then, just as the train is about to smack into him at high speed...
Who was the penguin? Who's the freaking penguin?
Now, my first answer to that would be,
Who's the penguin?
but apparently this is enough for Batman to know exactly who it is. Normal for people to go around calling themselves the Penguin and not be suspicious or something. It's like if you find...
I'm the mastermind.
Mastermind of what exactly?
Crime.
Oh, you sound like an upstanding member of society.
If you're lying to me, I'll be back.
Alright, calm down. You're not the Terminator. That only works if Arnold Schwarzenegger is voicing one of the characters. After that, though, we jump over to the Penguin Lounge.
Remember that rainy day?
Yep. There are some reveals that don't really need a commentary. Welcome.
You out with nothing but...
Everyone's supposed to pretend that they care about this. And the thing is, a lot of these people don't even know she's a criminal mastermind. They're just there for the entertainment.
Oh, look, there's a fat, ugly person singing.
And just nobody is supposed to notice.
I've got a clunge, you can't judge me.
And no one to blame.
What are we... Why? This kind of act gets cringier the uglier you are. Stop it.
What a shame. Bill Bailey.
What? What? At this point, everyone in that boat would have simultaneously thrown up. You would have flooded from the inside out.
Won't you please come home?
I mean, what is even happening?
Please come home.
Stop sticking your chest out, love. Not a single person on Earth is interested. This is why you call the Penguin, because they're chubby little bastards as well. The only way you can get around is just sliding on your front. Why are people wolf whistling? The ugly tard. Complete and utter delusion from everybody involved here. If this was the Penguin and everyone was scared of them, this would make sense. If you had it like, oh no, we can't offend her. Yeah, you're so hot, love. But they're supposed to be doing it genuinely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh no, I don't know if you noticed that. Watch the hips.
Thank you.
Ooh.
I'm Barry Allen, most repulsive man alive.
What is happening? She's like, look at Harvey during that entire thing. And she's like, oh, hello, darling. And he's like, oh my God, I can't resist. I know they say opposites attract, but the attraction of this one is incredible. He's like, I want to see you backstage, Harvey, I will. You can clean out my stable.
Hello. It isn't Detective Arnold Flash.
You can't do that when you're that ugly. It doesn't work. Hello. Get away from me, you cretin. Next. Like, none of this works. We know how people are.
Sugar. You can frisk me any day of the week.
Nobody wants to. I think the only reason you've not been arrested for a crime is because nobody wants to touch you. Do you want to pat her down for weapons? She might be... No, actually. I'd rather get attacked by the hidden weaponry than have to pat that down. Thank you very much. Hey, and he's like, oh, yeah, that was a great compliment from a very attractive lady over there. Yeah, she does look like her face is physically melting, but apart from that, when people say you look like the broadside of a barn, it's just a picture of her face.
Me next! Do me next!
You do not want her to do you at all. I'm not sure your pelvis could survive the weight.
Not if you were the last cop on the force, Bullock.
Bullock could do better. There's not a man alive that couldn't do better.
Mwah! 23 skidoo.
I mean, look at... Why? This explains why penguins are at the Arctic, because nobody else wants to look at them.
I bid you adieu.
Hopefully forever. But now we've got Captain Gordon, who, seems to be played by Robert Downey Jr.
Think I could be at home doing my nails, or the dishes,
Having a baby.
or my taxes.
I think I win on your fulfilling life goals.
But the commissioner can't exactly skip a police fundraiser.
To be fair, you did work out a way to skip the tanning salon, so I'm just saying I believe you can find a way.
Well, so long as we're both miserable.
That's the quality parenting I like to see.
Your career should be really important to you, just like mine, because I hate mine and now so do you.
What a wonderful family dynamic. Maternity, everybody.
Thanks for humoring your old man.
Thanks for destroying your life for me. By the way, how do you have ginger hair with our genetics? I've always wondered.
But Harvey comes over, is like, by the way, when I'm come mayor, you won't need help from giant bats.
Buying into rumors off the streets now? Do you leave cookies out for Santa too?
I'm sorry. When was the last time Santa put people in hospital? This isn't some myth that nobody has proof of. He's actively beating up criminals and leaving them for the police. You're finding them.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just a myth. These people did it to themselves.
Yeah, including that policeman that got hung up outside in front of a train. There comes a point when you have so much evidence, the stupid position is to not believe it. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah. I just answered my own question.
What I tell you, Jim? Spitfire.
That's an English plane. I'd prefer if you didn't bring my country's name into disrepute. It's bad enough already. We can mess up our own reputation. Thank you very much. We don't need help. But then Batman comes out with a really stupid comment.
I've suspected the iceberg was some kind of front for smuggling guns or drugs or worse.
So I thought this cruise ship was a front for the worst crimes possible in the city.
But to take on Rupert Thorne...
Here, you've underestimated the Penguins.
What? Wouldn't the things that you just mentioned put you against Thorne in the first place? As he'd want to be the one doing all of those things.
Everyone has. That's how she wants it. Flashy cabaret act, gambling ship.
And nobody thought it was suspicious that the fat, ugly tart managed to pull off a cabaret act. Oh, I don't know why anybody likes this.
Hiding in plain sight. Smart.
As opposed to what? Have you seen the size? How is anybody supposed to hide that? You could stick her behind the Las Vegas sphere. Her shoulders would still stick out the sides.
Do enjoy the party, Master Bruce.
Was that a joke?
I suppose.
How can you not know? Oh, I'm sorry, Bruce. I got distracted. I was actually thinking about chocolate cake. You have no idea how much hunger I'm having to resist by now. I almost ate the ship.
You made it, Bruce.
He's like, oh, what's that in your face? Why is pepperoni pizza talking to me?
It's Erin. This is my mama's party.
Erin? We are really knocking it out of the park with criminal names here, aren't we? Of course, now we get where the two crime bosses meet each other and just tell each other our own plans. I honestly don't know how this works.
Rupert Thorne. What a lovely surprise.
It is a surprise. I didn't think the person that I was trying to blow up would just walk onto my own ship and make it easy for me. There is no way in a real-life situation he'd leave that boat.
Didn't expect you to show.
I wouldn't miss it.
Well, she wouldn't miss you. You're on a pissing boat.
Devastated to hear another of your properties exploded the other.
So I was absolutely devastated. I can't understand why I keep blowing up your buildings. You can't have two crime bosses meet each other and just tell each other, oh, I'm so sorry, I was doing what I was doing to you. Oh, I know what you're doing to me, but I still decided to come on your ship. Did you? That was really stupid of you, wasn't it, really? Did I hear you had an office in that building?
Heavens.
Heavens! Oh, no! What have you done to Penguin?
It's been blown to pieces. Itty bitty pieces.
Tiny chunks I would have fed to my squirrels.
She actually looks less like Penguin and more like a terrible magician. Because they tried to actually make her look vaguely like a woman. They wanted to give her a chest, but also didn't want to give her a decent one. And so they kind of just made her fat-chested. It's like, well, it's got to be bigger than a bloke, but we also can't have it be shapely because, I don't know, because a male viewer might see something that vaguely reminded him of something of quality, and so we had to do the worst of every world. But then, Thorne gets really stupid considering he's the mastermind of all criminality in the city.
I got a tip and hightailed it out of there just in time.
Okay, so why are you telling the person who's blowing up all of your buildings that you had a tip from with inside their own thing? The only reason you would tell Penguin that you had a tip from inside her own company is if you didn't, but you wanted her to think that you did so she'd get suspicious about her own company. She should also be aware that him telling her this, that's the only reason why it would happen. If he had an actual tip-off from within a company, he'd want her not to know, so he could keep getting more tip-offs.
Oh, a tip, you say?
And she's like, oh, I'm just gonna believe you, despite the fact that I've been literally shooting you in the face.
You might say a little birdie told me.
Yeah, it's that guy over there. I'm now telling you the person that has done it to your face. And she believes him. Why? You're trying to kill him. He knows you're trying to kill him. You know he knows you're trying to kill him. Why are you trusting him?
Itty bitty birdie.
I can feed to my squirrel.
So the Duchess says, no, not on the first date.
Yeah, what'd you take me for? Some kind of tart?
We're gonna have to use the loophole method. When he makes excuses and goes to look around the ship, he decides he doesn't need to wear the Batman outfit for this, and if he gets caught, they're just gonna see his face. Not that he actually discovers much when he just walks into a room of boxes and finds a nice load of pillows.
Those aren't pillows.
Yeah, but the cartoon never tells you what they are either. And then he hears voices at the door, dives into the water to get away from them. Of course, Bruce Wayne, not suspicious, starts to climb out of the ocean onto the ship in full view of everybody.
Guess it's not a yacht party until someone falls overboard.
And everyone's gonna just believe that, are they? Yeah, that's fine. Did you know Bruce fell overboard on a ship? That was weird, wasn't it? This is Batman supposed to be sneaky, can't even get back on a ship without getting spotted.
What happened to you?
Guess it's not a yacht party until someone falls overboard.
It's funny because we repeated it. Penguin, though, is running this police fundraiser apparently to embezzle the funds. I'm not sure how she does that without the police realizing that they don't get any of the money. But she also takes Thorne at his word that her son betrayed her.
Precious little angel. Sold me out.
To be fair, with those jeans, I would as well. I mean, let's face it, she's very lucky somebody's decided to turn her around against a wall down a dark alley as it is.
Should we keep the lights on? No.
No.
Is that your nose, or are you just pleased to see me?
It was Aaron. It had to be him.
What? It was him. It wasn't me. Look at him. He's short and ugly just like you are.
Come on.
But despite them arguing about it, she just believes what she was told by the guy that she literally tried to blow up yesterday. Trustworthy source of information, obviously. Mind you, look at her. Does she seem very bright? Can't even work out what not to shove in her face. So is he going, it wasn't me, I swear, I wasn't me.
Did you remember to eat something at the party, Mama?
Because I know you managed to fit through that door without turning sideways. That's a bit unusual for you, love.
You get a little testy sometimes when you're hungry.
That's probably the most believable part of the show. That every time she gets angry, it's because she's hungry. So she eats one of her henchmen.
No, mama never holds a grudge for long.
If this is all it takes for you to wipe out one of your sons, how many did you have originally? There's no way they got to that age without you wiping out at least 10. Is that why she's so big she's just like permanently pregnant to replace the ones that she mindlessly kills? Either way, they shove him in a suitcase and then just dump him in the water. And all it took was a lie from the crime boss, which she is trying to murder. Once again, the criminal's only as smart as the writers. So Thorne then gets a phone call.
Mr. Thorne, Mama's on to us.
Mama found out that somebody had tipped her off and she killed the wrong son. You need to protect me.
So obviously Thorne lied to her, then told her the wrong son, so she killed the loyal son, and that would keep him with the other son loyal to him inside her company. All makes sense, as long as Thorne's intelligent. He isn't.
You gotta help me.
Yeah, he's not going to help him. I don't know why.
I don't think you're the kind of man I want in my organization.
What? If you didn't want him in the organization, you could have just told her the correct son. He wants to help you. He has no other choice now except to be a spy within her organization. You can use him. He's a tool. Thorne's a tool as well, though, unfortunately.
You just sold out your own mother, for God's sake.
Yes, which makes him useful to you. Why are you throwing him away? So rather than taking advantage of the desperate man, instead he's just like, now you're on your own. What pathetic writing.
Bye now.
So they find out that he's gone, took one of the motorboats, and she's like, Thorne must have lied to me and I've just killed the wrong son.
Do you have any idea what this means?
That Thorne got you to kill the wrong son?
Yeah, it was really easy. All he had to go is, that guy was the one that told me everything. And you were like, oh, okay. Well, if my mortal enemy tells me, it must be true.
No, that rat's gonna squeal about the whole operation.
To be fair, your operation, not really that complicated. Either way, he's now after someone to protect him, so he goes to Barbara Gordon.
Oh, sweetie.
Call me that again, and you're gonna lose some teeth.
That's right. There's nothing sweet about her. She's a miserable bitch.
What do you want?
You call me happy, I'll beat you to death. You should know better than to think of me as anything else but a useless cow.
Maternity. Empowerment. But he starts telling about his mom, how she runs the mob, she's a gangster.
She's a scary lady.
To be fair, she looks like all of that. You could send her around nursery schools to scare the children. Either way, he wants to be taken to her father, so she drives him there, eventually. Unfortunately, they get followed.
Hey, Ronald, how about you stop the whining?
Yeah, can you shut up? Look, I know your mum wants to kill you, and we're getting chased by people with criminals, but just shut up and stop whining. Have you not seen I'm here in my emotions, being an angry, stupid wench? I'm the one who's supposed to be insufferable in this cartoon. You're overpowering me, taking my limelight as the useless cow.
Probably her fault anyway, to be honest. Bet she just randomly slammed on the brakes or something.
How'd you found me? I'm cooked.
Can't even drive along the road without crashing into a car.
Okay, hold on to something.
I think he knew that the moment he got in a car with you. It's like, this is gonna be rough. Either way, they start shooting from the car behind and obviously hit nothing. I'm so sorry, son of a crime boss obviously has no experience around guns. Crime.
No, I'm just here to cry and whine and make her look better because I'm pathetic. By the way, how do you have ginger hair? It doesn't really work with your genetics. Where did that even come from? Hang on. Boot polish? Are you Robert Downey Jr. as well?
But as they're getting chased and everything is going to hell, she does actually have a really sensible idea.
Here, take the wheel.
Yeah, you're gonna have to drive, mate. Honestly, I don't know what I was doing getting behind this thing in the first place. Oh, did I forget to mention it's only so she could be badass and shoot back at him. He is the criminal that does this for a living. He can aim better. Either way, she's decided rather than holding the gun in front of her so she can look down the barrel and aim, she's gonna hold it like out here somewhere, like around the side. I don't know how you're supposed to even aim that thing. Talk about looking down the sights.
I'm gonna hold it sideways.
I don't know. No wonder she misses. I actually don't know how he misses. It's, accuracy by volume. Yeah, no wonder. She fired 2 bullets, got back in the pissing car. This is useless. I can't hit a thing out here. Unfortunately, she decides to start driving again. Bad idea at the best of times. Her insurance must go through the roof. Before eventually having to pull over because she decided to drive down a dead end. Congratulations.
Come on.
Where do you think you're going to go? It's a dead end. Oh, that's right. Just sit behind the tire. That'll save you. She checks her bullets, though, finds out she's got 1 with 3 targets. Now, I did briefly think, because she doesn't have dangly bits, she would find some way to, like, bounce it off a wall and just line all 3 of them up with 1 bullet. I did briefly think that he just pump-action reloaded a Tommy gun. I was gonna say, like, everybody else has a Tommy gun. I did think he had one as well. Yes, that's male driving for you. This is also why it's really stupid. They thought Batman was a myth. He drives through the city in that. He's not being exactly subtle, is he?
He's like, all right. How you doing?
Back at headquarters, though, he is singing like a canary, telling them everything.
We've got to go somewhere safe. Nothing's safe.
And Robert Downey Jr. is like, hang on, no, don't worry, son. We can protect you. Look around you. There's loads of people with guns and stuff.
He's like, no, don't you understand?
She's got cops on her payroll.
Who could possibly be on the payroll? Do you think it's the guy standing outside listening to this conversation? My favorite thing about this show is its subtlety and nuance.
What are you talking about?
And how everyone is the size of a house. Like, you could have drawn them as normal people, saved on some crayons. So they phone the other person who's the size of a house, and she's like, thanks for the tip-off, mate. I'll make sure you get some extra money.
I'll see you in Flask at an extra 50 this week.
50? Hello, love? Yeah, your son is here. He's telling them all about your incredible master plan and everything you have and all about your ship. Your entire empire is about to collapse, but you can stop it due to the information I'm giving you. Yeah, that's worth $50. That'll enable you and your mate to go out for Starbucks today. The phone she's just broke cost more than $50. It's like, you don't understand what she can do. You don't understand her power.
The woman is a criminal genius.
No, she isn't. We know she's not a genius because she killed the wrong pissing son when her enemy told her the wrong information. The only proof he's got of criminal genius is, she could fire some cannons.
She's been running rings around you guys for months.
That's not hard. They're GCPD. If GCPD ever solved a crime, Batman would die of shock.
Mama bought herself a customized military-grade long-range cannon.
Yes, she's built a cannon on top of her ship. And the guy's like, oh, did you think those buildings were blowing? No. In the wreckage, they'd find the cannon shell. They would have known those buildings were getting blown up by a cannon. Batman would have at least known. But instead, no, everybody's stupid in this series because the plot needed them to be. So then we get a look at the cannon, and somehow she aims it. I don't know. I don't know how this is supposed to make you... Look, what's that doing? Except that's just looking at the sky. It might be useful for stargazing, but not for aiming a cannon. A cannon has an arc. What use is an X on the top that just goes straight up going to do? Why is there what is this? What's this going to show you? Then you've got like a pressure gauge? I don't even know. I can at least hope that maybe angle. But it's like she could hit anything in the city with that, even police stations. Do you understand?
We need to get out of the police station.
So she pulls the, oh my god, get out of the police station, somebody's about to hit it with a nuclear weapon alarm. And Batman comes along in his, well, that's far too long for a submarine. It's got 1 person in it. Why does it have to be that big? He's like, yes, it's extra large. I like my submarines the size of my bank balance. We go past her son, which got yeeted out of a suitcase about 2 hours ago. And for some reason, he's already a skeleton. Those piranhas must do fast work, I tell you.
Give me that. Taking too long.
Yeah, I'm sure you could definitely turn that wheel faster than he could, love. We're lucky they made that extra large chair for you. They don't actually have any machinery in order to raise and lower this cannon barrel. All they do is use her as a counterbalance. At that moment, though, Batman arrives. You can tell because one of the henchmen is face first on the floor. He takes out the bodyguards, including her number 1 henchman, who seems like a bit of a div, generally. Why are we catching grenades? If somebody lobs a grenade at you and it's going to miss and go overboard, don't catch it.
Oh, what's this thing going past me that he just threw?
You deserve everything you get. That's what he got. But he gets thrown overboard. And then it's just Batman versus the house wench. House as in the size of. The thing is, just as she's about to pull the firing lever, Batman throws something next to the lever. Doesn't stop her pulling the lever. It's not blocking the lever. It's just next to it. I just go, got ya, missed. It's not what happens, though.
You asked for it.
Oh no, I'm so scared. Your umbrella's grown by 3 inches. So Batman seems to be genuinely struggling with her for some reason, rather than just going bang. He keeps grabbing the umbrella all the time, rather than just punching her in the face. Oh, well, you've got me now. Now you've snapped off my tiny little dagger. How on earth am I going to cope now? So then Batman comes up with literally the most stupid plan of all time. I mean, honest, just watch this. I'm going to throw you next to the gun I don't want you to fire. We were all the way over there, but if I could just throw you next to it, because I need the next bit of plot to happen. So we were like, oh, well, you could just pull it then. That was the most stupid idea you've ever had. Oh, I've got you though. I'm in the way still. Yeah, but if you hadn't, you were in the way before and further away. So now, haha, missed me. Batman had to be the most stupid man alive for this to work. And she had to know he was the most stupid man alive for this to work. I've outsmarted the man, because I don't have dangly bits. Yeah, she pulls the lever with the end of her umbrella, which Batman threw her next to, and then let her use her umbrella on it. That means they do blow up the police station, but everyone evacuated first, and Robert Downey Jr. is like, "Get down, Mr. President! Down!" Because he's seen that in his other movies.
And now we all lose.
Yeah, but only because Batman was an idiot. If I'm trying to keep you away from a cannon, why am I going to throw you next to a cannon? And then we find out that Batman is even more stupid than you thought and recognizes that he's more stupid than you thought. It's like I've been working out what Penguin's empire was.
Former empire, you mean?
Yes. Yes, former empire. After I got her arrested. Despite the fact that I could have done it before because I already knew she was running guns and everything else through her ship. Apparently. I just decided to do nothing about it. Because I am Batman!
And that's the problem. Penguin was keeping Thorne's mob in check.
Oh, I should have just let the criminal get away with it. That's what Batman does.
You've just given another piece of the city to Rupert Thorne.
As opposed to what? You didn't know she existed until yesterday. You thought Thorne ruled the entire city as it was. The only thing that's happened is now he does actually own what you thought he owned in the first place. And he's like, I can't believe I've done it. Because it's far better if there's a gang war on the territory rather than one person owning everything and there being peace.
I failed tonight. That can't happen again.
Failed because you're an idiot. And he's like, now I know I'm an idiot. I'm a complete failure. I am Batman. I don't know what this series is. I don't read the Batman comics. I don't know any of the lore. I just know that that was awful. At this point in time, I have watched the first 4. This was the worst of the 4, with most of the horrific changes in it. The next 3 aren't even really worth going through. There's just like highlights that are funny. But this, especially with whatever they did to Penguin, was worth covering. Whatever they did to Batman was worth covering. Because this episode was a farce. And I can only hope that out of the other 10, there's at least another one like this. Hopefully Penguin comes back and maybe we can get a team up of horrific hell. As rather predictably, all the worst parts of this episode are the bits they've changed. And then everything they had to change to make their changes work. I am quite happy with the entertainment I had in the first episode of Empowerment Batman. As so far, the most enjoyment I've had out of the series is weird Penguin Woman and the farce of having to pretend that everybody actually enjoyed her cabaret act and found her attractive. Incredible Batman parody without actually intending it. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe. More videos like this in the future. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.